Hi, everyone. My name is Catherine Quinn, Program Manager at Enactus Canada. Welcome to the final round of competition for our 2021 CWB Financial Education Project Idea Pitch, proudly presented by Canadian Western Bank. Please join me in welcoming the Enactus team from Ryerson University. You may now begin your presentation.
When my parents came to Canada 10 years ago, they did not know what a credit history was.
When my grandmother immigrated to Canada and bought a house, she didn't have any understanding of property tax.
When my mom was 7 months pregnant, she lost her first job in Canada and didn't know where to look for help.
Most immigrants struggle, but they don't have to.
25% of Canadian immigrants are Indian, but only 24% of the Indian population is financially literate.
Project Finshiksha plans to reach Indo-Canadian skilled immigrant workers aged 18 to 35. Through the Ontario Council of Agencies Serving Immigrants, we'll launch a program that equips newcomers with the necessary tools to financially integrate into Canadian society.
We work with newcomers at the root of their immigration process. Between the approval and arrival phase, newcomers can complete our financial literacy courses digitally and completely self-directed. The course is available in English and can be translated by Amazon Web Services into multiple languages.
Project Finshiksha will cover topics such as budgeting, taxation, investing, and saving. We will leverage existing financial inclusion partnerships with CFI, BMO, Alternate Savings, and our award-winning Project Bits curriculum to curate models in an easy-to-understand format.
Our 12-hour self-directed course will be made available to newcomers from the first day of their immigration approval to an entire year after their arrival. Upon completion, participants get exclusive access to services with our partner banks, dealerships, and other financial partners.
Additionally, 1,000 participants will have the opportunity to seek career guidance with advisors from Enactus Ryerson. For those interested in entrepreneurship, 100 participants per year will have the opportunity to enroll in our entrepreneurship workshops.
With over half of the Enactus Ryerson team being business majors of South Asian descent, we have a unique opportunity to cultivate strong relationships with our participants and create sustainable change in their lives.
Once the course is complete, we offer a certificate issued by Ryerson University and also implement an annual assessment for the first 2 years after graduation to track progress and make improvements.
Our budget breakdown includes $4,000 for media and communications outreach, $2,500 for Ryerson issued certificates, $1,000 for administrative expenses, and just $15 for the Amazon translator. Our total budget is $7,500.
We will measure success through our annual assessment, as well as the number of people who complete the course before and after arrival, the number of people invested in our partnership deals, and the amount of increase in assets.
Our curriculum will impact our target audience by helping them invest in reliable financial products and giving them the confidence to make sound financial decisions.
Project Finshiksha is educational empowerment.
Because financial literacy means financial security.
Your presentation time has expired. It is now time for the question and answer period. Judges, please submit your questions through the Zoom chat function. Is there a cost to newcomers, and how will you fund your budgeted costs?
I'll take that question. So currently the cost, they don't have any course, our services are free. It's totally dependent on our funding from our partners as well as Enactus Ryerson funding as well. However, moving forward, once our pilot program is successful, our goal is to start charging a fee for our consulting services. Since we are referring new customers to our partners, we would also implement a commission for referral with our partners as well.
Will fraud be a part of the educational component?
Can you repeat that question, please?
Will fraud be a part of the educational component?
I could take that. Yes, fraud is a very big issue for newcomers coming into Canada. I've also had personal experience with that, so we'll definitely include that in our curriculum.
Do newcomers have to pay for the translation themselves?
They don't have to pay for the translation. So the Amazon services yearly only costs us $15, and we can actually translate it to over $20. So they don't have to pay for the translation services.
What dealerships do they receive offers from, i.e. vehicles, homes, etc.?
So currently we have partners such as CFI, Alternate Savings, BMO, and we will be looking into further partnerships as we develop the project as well.
What about partnerships with community organizations, including settlement services?
Absolutely. So we're also planning on working with Canadian Indian Association and Indian Canadian Organization as well to expand our product and connect the new immigrants with community members as well. Once the pilot program in itself is successful, based on the feedback of our participants, we will connect them with an organization of their choice as well.
Your time has expired. Please join me in congratulating the Enactus team from Ryerson University. Please join me in welcoming the Enactus team from the University of New Brunswick. You may now begin your presentation.
With our project Piece of Pie, we aim to tackle a very lucrative market. But not only are we tackling this lucrative market, but we're also aiming at inclusion in Canada by targeting our primary audience to newcomers to Canada. This highly sought after skill, which is Python for finance, is very sought after in the industries of investment banking and in the data science world. By providing these services to individuals who are coming into Canada, we're giving them an opportunity to be hired at these firms who are looking for people with these potential skill sets. Our main target audience will be those aged 17 to 29 and members of the Multicultural Association, or more specifically, the Multicultural Association of Fredericton, or MCAF, and MAGMA, the Multicultural Association of the Greater Moncton area. As a starting point, we are also going to target Fredericton High School to include high school students who are looking to get into coding jobs in the future as well. The skills that we will require for this project to take place is certification in Python data science, which is offered by IBM, and that will cost us a total of $611. And we will make sure that at least one of our educators have this certification. The rest of our educators will be taking master classes that are advised to be taken by professionals in the industry in order to maintain a steady foundation for this project. So we also want to spark an interest with these individuals. We don't necessarily want to teach them every single thing about Python for finance, but we want to make sure that they're brought to a level of awareness that they know that these jobs exist and that they are able to gain these skill sets outside of just this program. We want to empower the individuals to have an internal drive to want to get these jobs. Not only are we targeting people who want jobs in data science and investment banking, but we're also targeting entrepreneurs. There are a lot of entrepreneurs that come through these multicultural associations that are looking to gain valuable skills in finance, and more specifically coding for finance, so that they're able to master their budgets and master their investments within their own entrepreneurial endeavors. For goal measuring, on the other hand, we do plan on measuring in 3 different areas. So attendance, course completion, and skill level scenario tests. So with attendance, we will be tracking the attendance for each individual on each of these sessions. For course completion, they will need to attend a minimum of 90% of the classes. And then for the real life scenario test, we'll be looking at 3 metrics in particular, so speed, comprehension, and performance. Speed will be measured by how quickly they do complete this real life scenario test. Comprehension will be the effectiveness of their strategy that they choose, and performance will be the accuracy of the result.
Now expired. It is now time for the question and answer period. Judges, please submit your questions through the Zoom chat function. How will you execute this idea amid the pandemic?
So the multicultural associations that we spoke with have placed COVID-19 friendly restrictions in order to be a bit more a bit safer. That includes spacing the computers right far from each other. I should also mention that the multiculturals even are providing us with their labs, with their computer labs, and they will allow. And these labs are really spaced out, and they're each computer is going to be stationed differently. So we're going to be taking all measures just to be extra safe.
How many people annually will be impacted by this program?
So as for newcomers, and I can speak locally, we have around, I would say, the 1,000 newcomers that come in. And I just want to take a small portion, maybe the 1% that is in the youth category that might be really willing to work with us and everything per course. So I do suspect that we are going to be going to the average of 50 in our first year.
Youth, especially newcomers, face many barriers. Will you offer cultural support through their participation in the program, and how?
Yes, so we did already set up an interpretation system. We're going to have interpreters provided by ourselves or the multicultural associations in order to facilitate the language barrier, because that's the biggest thing that we might be finding. The language barrier. On top of that, we're going to be issuing a very basic kind of a course that would not really go in depth, but will also kind of get them to discover this, I guess, the language. Our goal really is to get them to discover this new path and see if it is fit for them. And if it is,
your
they
time
can go
has
along
expired. Please join me in congratulating the Enactus team from the University of New Brunswick. Please join me in welcoming the Enactus team from Western University. You may now begin your presentation.
4,568. There are 4,568 full-time international students enrolled on Western's campus. Moving across the world is disorienting, but to make matters worse, banking and financial systems vary from country to country. For example, Japan only recently began to offer debit cards. Because of these differences, student newcomers are uninformed about banking products or financial tools that are available to them. It was also found that 71% of students wanted to learn more about personal finance. With a knowledge gap in general, it becomes that much more important that newcomers receive financial education to be able to successfully set up their new lives. That's where our project New Roots comes in. New Roots is a financial education and mentorship program that works with student newcomers. Weekly information sessions held by Enactus Western would educate participants about banking, about topics such as banking, tax systems, and even benefits available to them. Participants would complete questionnaires, and then based off of their familiarity with Canadian systems would be paired with a mentor. Our mentorship program will feature mentors across various industries who have made the transition themselves as immigrants. This will give participants the chance to network and learn from their lived experiences. We found that Western primarily offers non-interactive forms of financial education, such as information pages. There are also not any international student-specific mentorship programs, and a lot of the immigration programs in London target adult newcomers. This would make New Roots the only program of its kind on Western's campus. To reach students, we would start by partnering with Western's International and Exchange Center. We would also look to partner with international student groups on campus and then potentially even nonprofits. Now for the logistics. We will immediately recruit curriculum ambassadors. Between May and September, our team will build curriculum and a website, and they will also secure mentors along with the partnerships that we previously mentioned. In September, we will launch a 4-month course delivery, and at that point, we will reevaluate according to participant needs if we should extend the length of the course. The program's budget is $1,500, with $600 going towards the development and maintenance of a website, and the remaining $900 going towards search engine optimization and online marketing. At the end of the program, we will measure our success by looking at the number of participants, mentors, and community partners that partook, analyzing the knowledge participants gained between our intake and outgoing surveys, and finally, recording which financial products participants opted into as a result of New Roots. This could be the number of TFSAs or savings account opened, or even the number of credit card applications put through. New Roots looks to demystify the Canadian banking system to international students, giving them a chance to set up roots that will last. Thank you.
Your time has now expired. It is now time for the question and answer period. Judges, please submit your questions through the Zoom chat function. How will you build your mentor network?
Yes, so What we will first do is we would want to build our mentorship network based off of the strong alumni base that Western currently has and focus those that are specifically in the London area. We have a partnership with the Western Entrepreneurship Center on campus, and they have, like I said, a very vast and strong alumni network. So that's where we would originally start. And then we would look into potentially moving into community partnerships.
Often creditors target students for credit cards. What plan do you have to educate students about the use of credit cards?
So I think what we would start off with just the basics of what credit cards are and what they do. Enactus Western currently runs another financial education program that's aimed for high school students. And so we have some of that curriculum already built. So it starts off with what a credit card is. And I think the main point of focus in this program would be to show how credit cards work differently than cash-based cultures that some people are coming from. And from there, we would go into the different forms of credit cards, potentially looking at a bank-by-bank basis and breaking down what exactly the terms mean.
What education will you provide on fraud, as newcomers are often victims of fraud?
Yes, so I think that we would start off with, it would require us to do a lot of research on the different forms of frauds that newcomers are susceptible to. So we could run phishing, understanding a phishing scheme, understanding some of those calls that, some fraudulent calls that people get as well. And it would just be integrated into our weekly sessions.
Will there be any external partnerships with financial service providers?
As of right now, we do not foresee having any external
Your time has now expired. Please join me in congratulating the Enactus team from Western University. Please join me in welcoming the Enactus team from the University of British Columbia, Vancouver campus. You may now begin your presentation.
Culture shock, language barriers, and limited access to student loans. Each year, over 300,000 students just like us struggle to adapt to their new homes and fail to thoroughly understand their personal finances. International students in Canada are overwhelmed by their first time being independent thousands of kilometers from home. All the information is out there, yet millions of dollars of bursaries go unclaimed each year. And with countless websites, it can be difficult to even know where to start.
Welcome to Finpal, your trusted financial companion. Finpal is an app that empowers international students to take control of their finances and kickstart their inclusion in the Canadian economy. This app is not only a one-stop resource for busy students, but also adapts over time for every stage of their education and early career.
When opening the app, you receive a short survey gathering basic information to personally tailor the content for each student's situation. From there, students are led through engaging financial literacy modules, including Canadian Finance 101, personal budgeting, and the Launchpad. Launchpad is a unique hub where students are connected to relevant grants, income opportunities, and scholarships.
All modules are taught using engaging illustrations and videos, followed by short knowledge tests to earn points as an incentive. These points can then be redeemed for discounts and gift cards, encouraging students to continuously engage with the app.
Thankfully, Finpal can leverage existing resources and partner with organizations to amplify our impact. Using information from the Government of Canada and partnering with local banks and nonprofits, we plan to build onto the amazing work that's already been started. For example, resources from Prosper Canada will be foundational for our Canadian Finance 101 and personal budgeting modules. For the Launchpad module, we plan to use GrantMe and other existing scholarship platforms.
We will begin development this spring, launching our beta on select campuses this fall. Over the next year, we'll expand through financial aid offices at many more universities across Canada. By relying on volunteer developers from our contacts, this app won't require a large budget and will use basic marketing practices and impactful partnerships to spread the word.
With Finpal, thousands of international students will become financially empowered. Success is measured by reduction of debt and increase of income through grants and other opportunities, all while earning rewards in the process. The more students we impact, the more barriers we break down. These students will be in a better position to grow and contribute to the Canadian economy.
Combining financial literacy
with an engaging user experience, we are Finpal.
Finpal.
Your presentation time has expired. It is now time for the question and answer period. Judges, please submit your questions through the Zoom chat function. Your budget is small. The cost of developing this app will be quite big. How do you plan to cover this?
So we already have existing partnerships with development groups on campus that are volunteer run. So our development costs for the actual building of the app is going to be nothing. The only costs associated are marketing as well as the hosting of the app on a service such as AWS.
What rewards can be won?
For sure. So we plan to partner with a variety of local businesses in order to get discounts and gift cards at select restaurants and retail shops in order to encourage use of the app.
How will you support students besides just offering the app?
So one of our marketing platforms and a way to scale is to partner with organizations on campuses across Canada. So this could be international financial aid offices or international student associations. And often these associations have large social components. So they do events and they connect with students one-on-one. This app is just an add-on to their already in-person or one-on-one services.
Can you discuss your marketing strategy in reaching your demographic?
For sure. So in terms of reaching our demographic, we plan to work with a lot of financial institutions that are actually on these campuses and then use our existing network that are out there before we expand across Canada by promoting the use of our app through, again, a variety of campus and partnering with a variety of institutions that are existing on them.
Who or what will power your reward or points program baked into this application?
So the rewards program is going to be powered by those partnerships and sponsorships we're able to gather from financial institutions that want to make this kind of impact with newcomers in Canada. For example, CWB has programs that are similar to this, as well as other restaurants and retail shops that want to market and bring their products to students. And it serves as a platform for us to generate revenue to support the app as well as rewards.
Where do you see this project in 1 year?
In 1 year, we hope to see this project rolled out across campuses around Canada, impacting the lives of international students.
Your time has expired. Please join me in congratulating the Enactus team from the University of British Columbia, Vancouver campus. Please join me in welcoming the Enactus team from Humber College.
Good morning. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to present today. We are Enactus Humber, and we want to build a resilient network of financially literate women. But wait, why would we want to do that? Studies show that female newcomers, especially during COVID, have been faced with job delay or revoking of offers upon arrival in Canada. Many female newcomers settle for lower wages due to low English language skills and existing gender inequality in the workforce. Many research show that women lack fluency in financial literacy as compared to men in all age groups around the globe. Additionally, they struggle with currency calculations, coming off less confident in everyday financial transactions, making their initial settling phase in Canada mentally taxing. As a way to help these women, Project FinFem will primarily host both English language and financial workshops, further accompanied by networking opportunities and mental wellness sessions. And how would we do this? Through resources created by our teammates, as well as resources provided by our partners and sponsors. Additionally, we will create a fully functioning website and mobile app that will be used as a database for all our activities. As a first step, Project FinFem will focus on female newcomers in the GTA area within the age group of 18 to 45. Through the project, we want to offer continuous support to our target group in the phase of 9 months. And we have 3 phases to begin with. And the initial phase would involve activities before their arrival to Canada.
We will work with partners and sponsors, organizations such as Prosper Canada to learn from their experience and contacts, and different government groups to help us with exposure of our project through inclusion of the information in packages for immigrants, as well as financial support through appropriate grants. We would also reach out to community organizations to ask for their support in spreading the word, reach out to banks to help us with their existing resources and offerings, and finally reach out to organizations such as Access Employment to connect our project with possible employers. The predicted budget for the project is 4,000 to 5,000 Canadian dollars, with a focus on in-kind sponsorships to help us lower the costs, for example, using venues and research resources at our college, as well as existing materials from our partners and sponsors. We want to provide secure means of financial information for female newcomers, increase their self-confidence and skills, give them networking opportunities for a more successful transition here in Canada.
Your time has now expired. Please join me in congratulating the Enactus team from Humber College. Judges, it is now time for the question and answer period. Please submit your questions through the Zoom function. How will you measure success?
I can take this one. Thank you for the question. So we will measure success through different metrics. The first metrics will be participation, where we will provide a certificate for each phase for 80% of attendance, completion of activities. Then we will incorporate examination, where we will implement appropriate short examinations for some aspects, for example, the English language workshops and the financial workshops. And then we will focus on post-completion data, where we would gather the data from all the different activities, the website traffic, their employment statistics afterwards, the language improvement, and that's how we will measure the overall success of the program.
What portion of your project budget will go towards the website or application development?
Thank you, a very good question. So we initially planned for $2,000 to go into this phase, but what we want to do is to use the resources that we have. We have a lot of students that are studying website development, so we want to use that. We also have a lot of members of our Enactus Humber team that are also experienced in website development, in marketing. So we will not only use the budget, but we will also see how we can cut costs so we don't actually have to spend money on that part of the project.
Cultural barriers, specifically for newcomers coming from a patriarchal structure, is deeply ingrained. How will you overcome this?
So again, a very good question. Thank you. Angela, do you want to take it over?
Yes, thank you, Prakita. So we are totally sensitive to the fact that a good majority of newcomers come through spouse visas. So in order to accommodate them, we will network in order to find them.
Your time has now expired. Please join me in congratulating the Enactus team from Humber College. Please join me in welcoming the Enactus team from the University of British Columbia, Okanagan campus. You may now begin your presentation.
Every year, we see an increase in the number of international students enrolled at the UBC Okanagan campus. When arriving in Canada for the first time, international students are often at a loss when it comes to finances. Depending on where they come from, financial knowledge can vary, and the lack of this knowledge can greatly impair their ability to support their studies and engage with the Canadian economy. Therefore, it is imperative for students to access financial literacy early. Information on how to become financially established in Canada can be difficult to obtain, requiring extensive research and navigation through multiple web links. This can be tedious and results in a lot of confusion. We aim to tackle this problem with our initiative called Finance Go, a one-stop webpage where students can access financial literacy resources easily and learn together at their own convenience.
There will be 3 phases of implementation in our initiative. Phase 1 will have financial preparation course for incoming international students. It will include a financial preparation kit, including travel-related expenses guides and money management tools. Phase 2 will have financial literacy and peak performance training for all university students. Financial literacy will include guest speakers and workshops, whereas peak performance training will be with a certified professional. Students who participate in this program will be able to enroll as peer advisors who can assist other students through the web page's online chat feature. And phase 3 We'll add investment training workshop on top of the ongoing programs from the previous phase. We will recruit an investment expert to conduct workshops, exposing students to key investment knowledge and strategies. Throughout the 3 phases, students will be able to access the content on the webpage.
The main part of our budget is the development of the website and making it user-friendly so anyone should be able to use it and have a clear idea of where to navigate based on needs. Guest speakers are finance professionals who will give their insight into topics so students can get a better grasp of the concepts. The instructor is more like a coach who highlights specific skills to develop in order to better utilize the knowledge. Also, to reduce the budget, we're sourcing a local agent, Rolf. He's a financial and business strategy consultant who runs the mentorship program, Peak Performance. The additional expenses are promotional items and giveaways in order to attract new members and pique interest among students. The impact: allow international students to get settled and become independent enough to carry out daily financial tasks and have some knowledge about the Canadian financial system. How are we going to measure success? Quantitatively, being a website, we can track the number of visitors. Secondly, we can check how many peer advisors enroll, how many enroll for the Peak Performance Academy, and students are also able to track their progress before and after participation through various quizzes. Qualitatively, we can get a focus group and ask them how this knowledge has had an impact on their life. Thank you.
Your presentation time has expired. It is now time for the question and answer period. Judges, please submit your questions through the Zoom chat function. What will the investment module entail?
So initially, the investment module will provide students with the foundational understanding of what investing is. So we'll start off with what are the different ways of investing, and the other programs we would work with the Peak Performance Academy, and Rolf, who is a certified professional, he'll have specific more detailed modules, for example, on stock investing or other ways of investing.
How long are the workshop classes in phase 2? I see they are 1 hour in phase 3.
Could you repeat the question?
How long are the workshop classes in phase 2? I see that they are 1 hour in phase 3.
So during phase 1, we'll conduct, we'll host workshops for students, and there are different types of workshops that we'll be hosting. Depending on the type, we plan to have them hosted 1 hour sessions per week as well. And this can happen according to the student's needs. It can continue for 1 week or 2 weeks, etc.
Will the financial preparation kit be specifically targeted to those enrolled to attend UBCO from abroad? Is that your target audience?
Yes, that is our target audience. The main reason for that is that we'll design packages specifically to direct students to resources locally, for example, local banks, or ways to access open credit cards in the Okanagan region.
How will you find peer advisors?
Oh, so the peer advisors will be students that are enlisted or that are interested in participating in our workshops in phase 2, as mentioned before, and they'll be participating in either the Peak Performance Academy.
Your time has expired. Please join me in congratulating the Enactus team from the University of British Columbia, Okanagan campus. That was our final presentation. Congratulations to all teams.